Hello, everyone, and welcome to another exciting episode of CodeNinja Global, a podcast dedicated to bringing you key industry insights from some of the most influential thought leaders across the globe. I'm your host, Taimoor Hussain, and today we're diving into a very interesting topic with computer vision. While we have been living with smart technology for a while now, with AI as it exists today, computers are not only able to interpret the world around them, but execute actions in real time based on the data collected. To help us unpack this fascinating world as seen through the eyes of the machine, we will be joined by Nabeel Tahir, the CEO of Core9, a revolutionary AI company servicing manufacturing, logistics, and retail business verticals globally through the use of frontier technology. Hi, Nabeel. Welcome to the CodeNinja podcast. How are you doing?
Thank you so much, Taimoor, for inviting me to the podcast. I'm doing absolutely fine.
Well, it's a pleasure to have you here. And just to start us off, could you tell us a bit more about your professional journey? You've spent significant part of your career with major corporations such as Nestle, Packages, and Standard Chartered Bank. I just want us to understand what inspired your transition from these companies into the world of technology, specifically when it comes to Core9.
So I have sort of an unconventional journey, I would say. So I did my bachelor's in computer science back in 2005. And after that, I started working with a local Pakistani group called Packages Limited. So Packages Limited is a manufacturer of packaging material. And I was part of their industrial marketing department. I got an exposure of working with a lot of industries across Pakistan because they were either our clients or our potential clients. And I was able to see and understand how our industry is working. In that experience of 3 years, I feel that I gained the local knowledge of the industry. What are the challenges? Where do our industry stand in terms of infrastructure, in terms of technology? And with that exposure, I feel that Packages for me was one of those organizations where I worked. I learned the most. And after Packages, I went for my MBA. I did it. I did my MBA, and then later on, I joined Nestle. Why particularly Nestle? Being one of the leading multinationals in Pakistan, working with Nestle was something which I was also eyeing after my MBA. Nestle gave me an exposure towards the logistics and supply chain side of the business, because I was part of supply chain department and I was able to understand the hurdles and challenges in basically ensuring how your product from the factory gets to the end consumer. So the whole journey was, for me, a very interesting one in order to understand that how we are going to be operating in Pakistan on the logistical front and delivering products to the end consumer. Again, technology was one area which was part of the whole experience, because Nestle has, back in those days as well, was very focused towards investing in technology and bringing in best practices from all across the globe in terms of technological innovations. So I felt that technology is enabling big organizations in a way which is going to be a sustainable growth for those organizations. So I felt the need for technology there as well. And from Nestle, I thought that let's do something interesting. I switched to banking sector. Generally, people prefer going into corporate sales or corporate banking. I opted for consumer. And I think my time with Standard Chartered for 11 years, every day was a new day. I ended up meeting new people. I ended up understanding what the industry is all about, because you would interact with literally 50 people every day, 30 people every day, 30 new people every day, coming from different backgrounds. And technology was one of the backgrounds from where a lot of freelancers and companies and startups, I started knowing them and I started understanding how things are progressing at that frontier. I saw Standard Chartered moving from a brick and mortar model and transitioning into a digital sort of experience for the consumers. And I saw the change back in 2011-12 when I joined Standard Chartered. The branches were full of people coming to get things done. And now when you go to any of these leading banks, you see very less people because everything is now being done through digital channels. So while my time at Standard Chartered, I've seen transitions coming from brick and mortar model to digital transformation. And the journey is very rewarding for the consumer, for the organization, and for the employees as well, in a lot of ways. So you learn a lot. So after all of these experiences, working with a B2B setup, B2C setup, and then financial setup, I thought that let's pivot into something which is more futuristic, which has applications across all verticals in the industry. And with a degree in computer science, I took this decision, and I was able to leverage my experience while working with Core9 as a founding member. I was able to come up with solutions which I felt is the need of the industry, the need of the hour. And in the last 2.5, 3 years, we have been able to do a lot of work for a lot of big names. And we feel that the way forward for any industry to progress or to adopt the best practices of Industry 4.0, technology and artificial intelligence is the name of the game. So that's my transition into Core9 and how I leveraged my experience throughout into Core9.
I think you've probably done the full circle of things, and it's such a fascinating story. And particularly when it comes to technology, it has its allure and that promise of true sort of transformation. And with Core9, what you've accomplished, it's remarkable itself. Just for the audience's sake, can you just explain what computer vision specifically is?
So, Taimoor, computer vision is a domain of artificial intelligence. For layman, it's a vertical within the artificial intelligence ambit, and it basically enables computers to understand what is going around in a space or around the system. So how does it work? It works as simple as that. It works like a human vision. So our eyes work as a lens and our brain works as a processing tool through which we capture the image and we process it right in the brain, because we have learned throughout our life. Let's suppose if we talk about this particular book, when I was born, I would never know if this is a book or not. I was told that this was a book by somebody, my mother, my father, or anyone in the house. And whenever I started looking at different sort of books, I was able to relate to it that this is a book. Similarly, in computer vision, we train the computer to understand different sort of images and videos in order to extract the meaningful information they would like to extract out of that situation. So, computer vision is sort of an upcoming field with the technological advancements in the hardware side of the processing machines. This is going to transform a lot of industries. This is going to help a lot of businesses. It is currently in the developmental phase, I would say. But the initial applications we have seen in the recent past, in the last 6, 7, 8 years, they have a lot of value. So I feel that, or rather Core9 feels that, computer vision is a vertical which has endless possibilities and endless applications. And we feel that if we keep on working in this direction, we will be able to facilitate a lot of our clients in the best possible manner.
Right. I think it's a fascinating sort of a technology. And while we've still had, access to IoT sensors, computer sensors or devices like that, AI is just pushing the boundary in terms of technology. But in your particular opinion, what role does computer vision have in terms of industries such as manufacturing, retail, or perhaps transport and logistics?
So IoTs enable. So your question is how computer vision would enable these verticals, right?
Yes.
First, we need to understand how IoTs work, right? So IoTs are sensors or communication-based devices through which you can actually understand how our different machines in a setup currently are working, right? And you take the data from those machines, you bring them to a centralized server, and you work on that data. Similarly, if you talk about computer vision basically enables the video or the images coming into the system, and it enables organizations understand what is going on around them. So it's another tool through which they will be able to actually understand what is going on their production floor, on their warehousing, on their transport fleet, on their retail operations. So computer vision has a lot of applications. So if you talk about, let's start with manufacturing only. So
Sure.
The manufacturing there's a production facility, there's a warehousing facility. So in the production facility, where can computer vision help? So it can help you in assuring the quality of the product. It can help you ensuring the safety of the employees. It can help you understand the operational inefficiencies in the system. It can also help you understand the overall productivity of the manufacturing process. In warehousing, for example, it will promote best safety practices. It will help you understand if a lot of near misses are incidents which can happen, but luckily they did not happen. So they are the potential risk breaches. So reporting on those breaches is very critical in order to streamline and invest into systems which can basically enable to avoid such instances in future.
Right.
So computer vision has applications there. Computer vision has applications in retail industry in order to understand the consumer. What is the customer journey? What is the footfall in a retail space? How should you be placing the product in the FMCG world? Placement of product is very, very crucial. And in order to ensure that the placement of product is done the way the organization wants it to be done, the company wants it to be done, computer vision is a tool through which you can understand the on-ground realities of your sales operations. So with logistics vertical, I think that this is one vertical where artificial intelligence has a lot of applications, and specifically computer vision. Many companies are coming up from the West and from here as well, which are focusing on the logistics side of the business. There's a lot of room for technological advancements there. How can computer vision help logistics side of the business? It can help you understand the road conditions. It can help you understand the weather conditions. It can help you understand if your fleet is performing the way you want the fleet to perform. It can help you understand the safe behaviors the drivers should be depicting and the unsafe behaviors the drivers are depicting. And there are many, many avenues in which computer vision can be used in the logistics. So these solutions are now available, and a lot of organizations are using it. And I feel that it is going to transform logistics business in a positive manner.
Right. I think that's very fascinating. In terms of retail, how do you see the impact of computer vision, particularly in the retail ecosystem?
So, Taimoor, we go to a conventional store or a superstore. So, we enter the store without knowing the first time you're going to the store. The store owners does not know you. They do not understand the buying habits you have. How much time would you be spending inside the store? What is your process of selecting a product? How much time do you spend on an aisle? What possible options do you evaluate before making your purchase? All this is unknown to the company which is selling the products.
True.
And it is also unknown to the management of that store. With computer vision coming into picture, you can understand your customer in a much better way. You can price your products in a much better way. You can place your products in a much better way. You can ensure that the client or the end consumer is fully engaged. We are working with a few clients on ideas which are so unique in order to understand the customer that it's very, very fascinating for us. And it's a journey for us as well to understand and come up with those ideas which will be breakthrough in the industry. So I feel that retail segment has a lot of potential when it comes to computer vision application. And I've just mentioned a few. Yeah. There are many more. So retail industry has, I think that it's going to benefit from it in very near future, right? In a lot of positive way.
Yeah. I think it's just amazing, like what can be accomplished with technology, for instance, with computer vision and AI. And while we're still at the early adoption stages of what can be called hybrid intelligence, in your opinion, particularly, what sort of stage is computer vision at in terms of outperforming traditional systems?
So Taimoor, let's first understand what a traditional system is. So a traditional system is, we take an example of our retail operations or a manufacturing operations. So in a traditional system, there are cameras placed, which is recording whatever is going on 24/7. And there are a couple of guys sitting at the back end in the control room, looking at all those screens, let's suppose 800 screens or 300 screens, believing that they are monitoring everything.
Yeah.
So humanly, that's not possible. So that's a limitation of the system, conventional system. Humanly, you cannot focus on 800 screens or 300 screens and even 10 screens at one point in time. Human brain is not, it cannot process more than 6-7 multiple tasks at one point in time at max, right? That is the limitation of the conventional system. With the processing power we have now, human intervention is not required in order to understand the on-ground reality. So computer vision is definitely a leap forward from the conventional system, and it's going to evolve further. Yeah. So if we say that computer vision has evolved to its peak, no. There's a lot of room, and I think that next 5 to 7 years would be a very, very interesting period in which you will see a lot of applications coming from computer vision, and it's going to make the operations simpler, safer, and more profitable and sustainable as well. So we focus on sustainability for our clients a lot because that's the future. We have to make this earth, this world, a livable place for our generations to come, and for that, all of us have to collectively work. So we always aim to bring in solutions which help them achieve their sustainability growth, and we are very happy to work with clients who are focused on this particular aspect of business.
I think it's a very striking comparison of traditional systems and how computer vision has that particular potential. Yeah. The adoption for it is growing. It's growing globally.
Yeah.
And you've also talked about a couple of industries. But for the layman, I just want to understand, where do you think computer vision will make the most impact today?
Okay, so let me try to explain it to you. Computer vision has impact on literally every industry. So if you want to understand which industry would be impacted most, I can't say that because I see a lot of applications across many, many verticals. And it is transforming health sector. It is transforming transportation sector, logistics sector. It is transforming manufacturing, retail, you name it. It is there. Construction. Computer vision is transforming construction sector as well. It is helping you bring in autonomous vehicles. It is going to be in the car manufacturing business soon. It's going to be in the health sector, I feel. It's going to help the health sector to that extent that early diagnosis of the disease through computer vision would save a lot of time for the patient and for the doctor as well. And the right diagnosis would lead to right treatment, would lead to better mortality rates. So the potential is there, and I can't comment which industry is going to benefit the most, but I think that all these industries which I mentioned and many more, computer vision is going to be there. It is going to be there, and it is going to be there for the sustainable growth of that vertical.
Okay, I think that's very fascinating, and it's remarkable on the applications of computer vision and the fact that it's got such potential. When it comes to Core9's particular products, for instance, DriveSense specifically, it's one of the first products that Core9 has seen a massive application internationally. Could you tell us a bit more about its features and how does it stand out from its competitors and similar solutions?
So DriveSense was conceived looking at the industry requirements. Environment was a factor in which a lot of conscious organizations are currently focusing. Safety standards for the employees and public at journal are also something which a lot of big organizations are currently focusing, and that's the sustainable way to take business forward.
Yeah.
Our solution takes care of a lot of these factors. So DriveSense enables you to give a more safer environment for on-ground fleet staff. It also enables society at large by ensuring that the drivers who are on the road are adhering to all the best practices, keeping in mind safety as the main angle to it. It also helps reduce the carbon footprint. And we are proud of the fact that our solutions help organizations achieve their EHS goals. So DriveSense, when it was created with a thought that it will take care of these 3 or 2 verticals in which organization wants or seeks solution from us. In terms of competition, a lot of players are there. There are bigger names as well. And then there are small segment companies operating in different regions of the world. We pride ourselves as computer vision experts. We have a strong grip on the software side. We have also ensured that the hardware is scalable. It is sustainable. So the first model from our solution weighed around 4 kgs. Our current model is less than 400 grams. So we are investing significantly in terms of adapting the product to the needs of the market. That now the solution is at that stage. It is very much scalable. It comes with the features such as safety for the driver, safety for the on-ground public, understanding the road conditions, understanding possible violations the driver can make. These are the features which come as a subset. Plus, you also have a view on the historical performance of your drivers. It also gives you a detailed insight on the driver behavior, as well as it also helps you understand if the driver or the vehicle followed the relevant track you designated in, and if they are stopping at anywhere in between. So what could be the possible reasons for that? So all of this comes as a part of the package, and these are the requirements generally shared with a lot of other industries. Many companies are working towards it, but the possibility of adaptation to the latest requirement from the client, that is our key strength, and that's what we aim to do in the future as well. And that's the reason we are constantly investing in our R&D to bring in best of the best products. Let me try to explain the solution first. So solution has a hardware component. It has a few cameras. And then there's a software component. The processing of the video feed happens within the vehicle. And it is powerful enough to process feed from 4 cameras at one point in time, depending on the client requirement. But generally, we recommend 2 cameras, and that's more than enough to capture what they require. The software runs on that video feed, and as soon as it captures an anomaly, it reports that anomaly to the cloud or on-prem server. Right? It's a 4G enabled device, so you have the option to communicate with the driver as well. The device is also recording complete journey, and it has that capacity to record for 3 weeks across all 3 or 4 cameras. Constant 8 to 10 hours of driving is recorded within the device. So God forbid if there is any eventuality in which you need to retrieve and understand what went wrong, the whole recording is available. This device is tested across many standards. It has the capacity to absorb 20 G of force, and it has cleared many tests. So it's a fully functional solution, and our clients are generally very happy with it. So just to recap, DriveSense basically helps you with driver safety, public safety, and optimizing the overall performance of your vehicle. So it gives you alerts on the unsafe behaviors of the driver. I can talk about the alerts, the nature of the alerts as well. It gives you a clear indication of what's in front of you, how far it is from your vehicle, and are you at a safe distance with it or not. It gives you an alert on that. If the driver is tired, it gives a beep. It talks to the driver. If the driver is using a mobile phone, or he is smoking, or he is distracted, or he is drinking water while driving the vehicle, a big 40 feet container at 60 kilometers per hour. So all of this, the solution is able to tell the driver that these are unsafe behaviors, and these alerts are reported as well. So for educational purposes, the organizations use this knowledge to educate their drivers and their fleet staff, so that their operations remain flawless and sustainable.
I think it sounds like such a game changer. In terms of diving into it deeper, what's the feedback been like from the early adopters? What sort of success stories would you like to share with us?
So Taimoor, it's a very, very interesting success story. So I remember our first order was for roughly around 200 vehicles with one of the MNCs we were working with. And we deployed that solution. And after a month, we were amazed with the results. Our client was also amazed. We were able to bring down the near misses and accident ratios by 99%.
Wow.
Right? We were able to comply with the company policies by 85%. Right? These are big numbers, right? Yeah. But more interestingly, we were able to save fuel for these 200 vehicles. Within a month, we saved them 10,000 liters of diesel. And that translates into a big number when it comes to fuel saving. That is 3% of the fuel saving. And that also translates into 26 tons of carbon emission, which the company was able to avoid. So it was a it was I would say that it was such a big success that now we are working with the same company on a different sort of a project, but with a focus on EHS. And we are very hopeful that DriveSense, with the performance it has given, we are very, very hopeful that it's going to transform a lot of industries when it comes to their logistical operations.
Wow, I think that success story just sums up how DriveSense is pushing the boundaries of technology. And when it comes to the potential of it, I just want to understand in what sort of ways is it scalable, and how customizable is it for different sort of companies and company sizes or their fleets per se?
It's very much scalable. As I told you earlier, we have significantly reduced the size of the hardware, and we have brought it from this size, we have brought it to this size. Deploying this across anywhere in the world takes 2 hours. And after 2 hours, it is up and running. You can get the feed from that particular vehicle anywhere in the globe. And you can start working with your transporter or your fleet management towards bringing in safer behaviors, because you have now evidence of all the unsafe behaviors the driver is doing. And scalability is there. Customization is there, since we do have sort of a command on computer vision, and we feel that any requirement which comes our way through the client, if it is technologically doable, if it's technically feasible, we generally do that. It takes a little while because you have to train a few models, and you have to come up with a few things, and you can incorporate those changes for that particular client. But what we have learned, because it's been like 2 years for us that we are currently working with this product with many clients, generally clients' requirements are already met, because while we were devising this system, while we were creating it, we talked to a few clients, big names, and we wanted to understand how they would like to take the product. What would be the key features they would like the product to have.
Right.
So we have taken care of a lot of things. Having said so, customization is an option which we can do. Interestingly, we have also enabled this device to receive IoT input from different places within the vehicle. So you can put up sensors, you can put up fuel gauges, you can put up lock sensors, you can get data from there, you can understand where the fueling of the vehicle happened, where the vehicle was first opened, the carriage is opened. So all of that is possible within it. So it generally takes care of, with allied equipment and IoTs, it takes care of mostly all the requirements we have gotten up till now. Having said so, future requirements, we are comfortable in customizing those requirements for our client.
That's amazing. And moving towards the final question before we wrap up the episode, what's next for DriveSense?
That's a very interesting question. I feel that the product is evolving, and so are our end consumers or companies. They are also now able to understand how this product can help them in a lot of ways. So we see a lot of growth coming our way, and we are fully equipped to handle that. But our focus would remain specifically on the development of product and evolving the product to that level, which meets the future requirements of the clients as well. So every now and then we get queries which are not features of the DriveSense at this point in time, but those could be the possible features. So our R&D department is currently working on enabling those features and testing those features in order to understand if that can deliver value which the client is currently foreseeing. So the growth is there, and in 2 years, DriveSense has come from something which was just a thought into something which is a product which is now deployed across many vehicles across the globe. We feel that the future will hold a lot of potential, and we will be collaborating with our clients to bring in more features into the product. And we are very, very optimistic, and we see it going a long way.
Well, I think that's really exciting, and that wraps up our conversation for today. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you here, Nabeel. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much, Taimoor. It was really nice meeting you, and for the podcast as well. Hope to see you soon.
Absolutely. We'd love to have you back again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.